Today's adventure brings us to where it's every day has brought us, Tim Hortons. Because even though we're not in Canada anymore, I still haven't seen a Dunkin'. This is still Tim Hortons territory. They have officially taken over this area, so until we leave this area of New York, I fear we are a slave to Tim Hortons. We're gonna get our coffee, hit the road. We got an hour to our first coaster of the day, and then not that far from there to our next couple coasters. And yeah, we're going to the whole plethora of different things today. Old school, really old amusement park with a kiddie cred, a mountain for a mountain coaster, a county fair, all over the place today. And we're gonna end it on someplace very special because I know it's there and I have to go to it. I just have to go to it. So we'll end tonight, final dinner at a very special place. And tomorrow's the big day, driving home. One stop tomorrow, and that's it. And then all the way home from there. So let's get today's video started. And we have made it to Midway State Park, and off in the distance I see what we are here for. Let's go on in. We're a little bit early, but maybe we can get our tickets and get in. So the Little Dipper, I think, just started testing. I hear the lift hill. Oh, yep, it's testing. So we are here for an Alan Herschel Company Little Dipper. These are like the forefathers of kiddie coasters, in my opinion. These started out in the 50s. The Alan Herschel Company, they made these Little Dipper designs. They made some Wild Mouse designs. And they made over 200, but there's only 29 left. I've been on 4 of them. One of them doesn't exist anymore, but I'm excited to get on another one here. Of course, we got some actual tickets this time. This place started out as a trolley park in like 1898, so it's so classic. So many classic children's rides here. Of course, the Herschel Kiddie Cred. So let's head on over to it. We got our tickets. I don't know if they'll let me on because it's not 11 yet, but we'll see. So I've been on 4 of these Alan Herschel coasters. The one at the Memphis Kiddie Park in Ohio. I've been on the one at Quasi in Connecticut. I've been on the one at Huck Finn's Playland in New York, and then one of them doesn't exist anymore. It was called Renegade, and it was at Southern Adventures in Huntsville, Alabama. So this will be the 5th one. Like I said, just an absolute classic. Like, they walked so the Go-Gators and the Dragon Wagons and the Wacky Worms could run. So it's always nice to see one, and there's not very many of them left. And I think most of them are in the US. None of their Wild Mouse coasters are operating, I don't think, anymore, but apparently they did find one in a barn somewhere, and there's a park in Ohio that's going to be opening that up. So that'll be exciting to see a Herschel Mouse in action. Let's go ride Little Dipper. Little Dipper, like I said, classic children's roller coaster. So iconic. I love riding those whenever I can. This one had a cool like spaceship design, and the Little Dipper sign had rockets on it, so it was cool. Yeah, these are just absolute classics, like truly classics. I feel like I understand putting like restrictions on some kiddie coasters for obvious reasons, but these I just feel like are so nostalgic and timeless. Like, they're like a fun ride for all people. Anybody should be able to go on Little Dipper. I've never had an issue with Little Dippers. Like I said, that's the 5th one now I've been on, but we have 2 more coasters to go to today, so we're gonna head off to our next destination. You might go without saying, but that was a first ride of the day and a Zen ride, and it was probably the cheapest I've ever paid for a roller coaster my entire life. There's no charge to get into the park, and the tickets are $1.25, so that was a $2.50 ride. We have arrived at Little Valley, New York, at the Cattaraugus County Fair, put on by Amusements of America. I know there should be a Wacky Worm here for a fact, but I'm hoping that there might be a bigger coaster too. County fairs are kind of like the middle type of carnival. You have your little small carnival or fair, local, like a town thing. Then you got your county one, and then you got your state fair and your exposition, like the CNE or the Big E. So hopefully they have another coaster I'm not expecting today, but at least we'll get a wacky worm, hopefully. Let's go on in. So it was $17 to get into the fair, but they said that the wristband includes rides, so that might be pretty nice. So we'll go see if that is true. So I found the wacky worm, but it is not open yet. I don't know when it opens. I see some rides open, some are closed. I'm gonna do another lap at least, see if there's any other coasters. I don't think there is. I would have seen anything big, but that's what I was expecting, was the wacky worm, so at least we should get that one once it opens. Wacky worm, finally got on it. I had to wait like 40 something minutes for it to open at 1 o'clock, but now we're gonna head over to Holiday Valley to ride their Alpine coaster, and then that'll be it for coasters for today. But we do have those very special dinner plans that I'm very excited for. And we have made it right down the road, basically 9 miles to Holiday Valley for the Sky High Mountain Coaster. Got my individual ticket. One ride, $14, not bad. This is our 4th and final Alpine coaster of the trip. 3 in Canada, 1 here. This looks like your pretty standard Weigand or ADG. Not sure which brand company it is, but the line is not that bad, thank God. It's not like the one the other day at Blue Mountain. That was a terrible wait. So it should be pretty quick adventure. Let's go. Not too much crazy to say about the Sky High Mountain Coaster at Holiday Valley. One of the more tame mountain coasters I've ever been on. I didn't get stuck behind anybody slow, which is positive. But even like full force the whole time, it wasn't too insane. I've been on some that are like really out there. This one was relatively tame though. But I think we're gonna go back to the Airbnb because it's still really early. It's 2 o'clock, and then we'll head to our place that we want to go for dinner. So back to the Airbnb for now. And we're almost done with coasters on this trip. We only have one more planned tomorrow on the way home. Yeah, but it's been a wild ride. We went from 479 to, I think this was 527 or 528. So we've done a lot of coasters on this trip, and I'm very happy how many we've done. But let's go back to the Airbnb and chill for a little bit until dinner time. I mean, was there any really question on where I was coming for dinner tonight? I mean, seriously, was there any possible way that I was going to come this close to another one and not actually go to it? No chance. We're going in. It's in the Sheraton here across from this big casino. So far, I'm liking Canada's Niagara Falls better. Great final meal at Rainforest Cafe. They had my favorite, the shrimp platter. They didn't have that one actually in Canada, so I had to mix it up. But that was very good. This is one of the newer ones. I think it said it opened in 2015. So one of the newer ones that's opened. It's in a hotel basically attached to the Sheraton here. And I don't know, I think the atmosphere in the one in Niagara was better, like Niagara Falls, Canada. I mean, I'm still in Niagara, just on the other side. But this one just, I don't know, it's a little different, still cool, still great, but definitely not as immersive as the one in Niagara Falls or the other two that I've been to in Disney. So that's 4 now. They're unfortunately no more on the way home or anything. It is really unfortunate because I've been to so many places that have them, but I just wasn't thinking about Rainforest Cafe. I was thinking more about roller coasters and stuff, because there's one in Nashville that I've been to Nashville a bunch of times. I've been to Atlantic City once, there's one there. I've been to Vegas, there's one there. I've been to Gurnee, Illinois, where Six Flags Great America is. I've been to one there. So there's just so many that are at places that I've gone to, but I just wasn't thinking about it at the time. But now I know where they all are. I'm going to be more self-conscious about that. Definitely got to get out to Texas to ride that boat ride at the one in Galveston. But yeah, we're just heading right to the Airbnb. Gonna rest and hang out until we got to hit the road tomorrow. Plan for tomorrow is to get to my first park of the day, which is going to be Sylvan Beach in Sylvan Beach, New York. They do have a coaster there, but the main reason for going there is going to be Laughland, the dark ride. Another classic dark ride. So that's going to be our only stop tomorrow, other than maybe the bathroom and gas and food possibly. But we're trying to just get home tomorrow because it's back to reality on Monday. Unfortunately, we got to go back to work. It's been a crazy 10 days on the road throughout Canada, New York, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Vermont. We've done so much over this days. 2 Rainforest Cafe locations. Doesn't get any better than that. So I'm signing out. I'll probably pop in briefly tomorrow at Sylvan Beach and then do like a wrap up maybe once I get home. But that, for the most part, is going to be it for me for this trip here today. Just going to go back and chill now. So, adventures aplenty coming up. Like I said, I'll see you at Sylvan Beach probably. Yeah, we'll see you at Sylvan Beach. We're about less than 3 hours from there, and then from there to home is about 4 to 5. So we have plenty of driving tomorrow. Hopefully we can get lucky with traffic. Because we had some traffic on here that was not very fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Just want to say that I drove by the now closed Martin's Fantasy Island on the way to and from dinner, and it was very sad to see. I think it has a new name, it's like Niagara Splash or something, or Niagara Amusement Park, something like that. But I went, when I first came to this area to go to Darien Lake and Seabreeze, I went to Martin's Fantasy Island, and Silver Comet was a really great wooden roller coaster. They also had a wild mouse and a wacky worm that was themed like a dog. It was like Dalmatian. But they have a new coaster there that is unfortunately standing but not operating along with the rest of the park. So it was so sad to see that as I drove by, especially seeing Silver Comet too, because that's such a solid wooden coaster that I really liked. And a coaster that I was fully intending on going on riding on this trip until they decided to not open this year. So who knows what the state of that park is going to be going forward. Hasn't always been very successful, but it was still sad to see the 4 times relocated SDC Galaxy coaster and Silver Comet and the Ferris wheel just sitting there abandoned. And we have made it to Sylvan Beach Amusement Park. Good morning, guys. Chris Coasters coasting back here at Sylvan Beach Amusement Park, Sylvan Beach, New York. It's all come down to this. This is the final park of the trip. After this, we go home. We don't ride another coaster until who knows when. Obviously, we got other plans, things we're thinking about, but nothing set in stone right now. But there is the Galaxy by SDC. I've technically been to this park before, but I pulled the Clark Griswold and it was not open. I showed up, total dead zone around here, nothing going on at all. But today's a very busy day over here in Sylvan Beach, lots of going on, lots of people. We have like the 2 rides, like I said. We got the Galaxy coaster we just saw behind me, and we have Laughland, the dark ride. So the park is actually opening in like 3 minutes, So we're gonna find a ticket booth, figure out how to get on these 2 rides and get on them. So I can't believe it's over. After this, we're done. Last park of this 10-day crazy road trip. The longest road trip I've ever done. I've done like a week, but 10 days is the most I've ever done. So I'm trying to go, obviously I know where the coaster is. I'm gonna try to see where Laughland is and get our tickets. So let's go do this. Physical tickets acquired. Let's go ride Galaxy. So the Galaxy at Sylvan Beach, I've been on a number of those. Some of them are very rough, some of them are horrible, to be honest with you. This one was pretty tame. For an older one, I was kind of afraid, thinking it was going to be pretty rough, but not too bad at all. Relatively smooth, but I see Laughland, and that is where we're heading next. The last coaster of the trip, though, I'm done. And there was some redemption since I tried to come and ride it at one point. And it was closed, so we got it today. Let's go on Laughland, though. Oh my, and there it is, Laughland. World's craziest ride. Let's see how crazy it is. Laughland, so completely classic. Like, so many cheesy gaffes / jump scares, if you could even call them a jump scare. It just, you go, as soon as you get in, it just smells like a basement that desperately needs dehumidifiers. It's just so musty and old smelling. It's just, I don't know, very, very classic. The scenes were not too scary. They're just random. It's just like complete darkness, though. There's not an inch of light in there until you get right in front of the gaff, and then you can just barely see the gaff. It's pitch black in there, but utterly classic. A couple of great classic dark rides on this trip between that and the Wacky Shack. And the Haunted Barrel Works, that was a cool one too. But that is all we wanted to do here at Sylvan Beach. We got the coaster, we rode Laughland. It was 7 tickets, it was like $14 for the 2 rides. But we unfortunately have to hit the road. We have probably about 4 hours of driving, maybe more than that probably, to get home. So it's been real, guys. We'll see you in the next adventure. We'll see where I coast off next to. But for this trip, to quote the great carpetbagger, this one's in the bag. And we have made it home, unfortunately. We are back. We are home. It was an amazing trip. I don't know what more to say than that. It was such a great trip, such a good time. I have some random statistics from the trip, though, since I put everything in my spreadsheet now. Unfortunately, because of March of the Millipedes, yes, it is officially March of the Millipedes' fault. We only rode 49 coasters on this trip. So I unfortunately can't say 50. Well, we rode more than 49, but 49 new credits. So March of the Millipedes, only one we missed out of everything we tried to go on, only March of the Millipedes. So that keeps us from saying we rode 50 new coasters on this trip. Fortunately, it only comes in at 49. We finished off with the Galaxy at Sylvan Beach at 527, so I went from 478 to 527. We rode, for the first time, we rode a coaster that we've been on before in a new location, obviously Intrepid, and they used to be in Six Gun City. I rode my 20th mountain coaster, which was the last one we did at Holiday Valley. I rode my 20th, I think it was the 20th coaster by the company Mack, which was Thunder Run. I rode my 20th from Wisdom Rides, which was the Montana Rusti Lulu at Pays de Merveille, the Minor Mike. And then I rode my first coaster from the manufacturer. It was the Alpine coaster in the video that I've forgot the name of it. Sunkid GmbH. That's what it says on RCDB. So that was my first manufacturer from them. So we're up to 457 steel coasters, 70 wooden coasters, and then of course we got to re-ride that new retracking on Predator, which was great. I'm not going to count it as a new roller coaster. I know some people out there would probably consider it a new coaster, especially since Roller Coaster Database has it listed as a steel coaster now. So it's a little weird because I rode it originally as a wooden coaster and now it's a steel coaster, but I'm not counting that as a new credit. I would only really count something unless it's had like a major, like complete overhaul, like Hulk in Florida, something like that. The new Big Thunder Mountain in Magic Kingdom, that was basically totally repurposed, basically. So something like that I would consider. But that Predator re-ride, I'm not counting that as a new coaster. That seems too. It's on some bad vibes towards it to consider making that a new roller coaster. Yeah, no other random milestones. I consider my milestones for manufacturers and types of roller coaster in like 10s, so I'll like point them out every time I get another 10 of a certain one. But we didn't hit like a milestone for steel or wood, but of course we had Leviathan, number 500. Didn't mess up anywhere with the math, so hopefully the math was right, because it would have either been Fly or Silver Streak if it was the opposite way. So, but no, 500 Leviathan. That's what we set out to do. Everything in the province of Ontario, obviously. Almost everything in Quebec. All pretty much brand new parks other than Darien Lake and the Santa's Village in New Hampshire. Everything else was a brand new park that we visited for the first time. One traveling coaster, 4 Alpines, one powered, some inverts, some wooden, some suspended, so many different types of coasters that we rode on this trip. Different companies, all sorts of awesome rides that we were able to go on. Favorite coaster of the trip? It's got to be, for steel, it has to be Alpen Fury. Since I've been out of the game, I haven't really paid attention too much to that. I haven't watched any POVs, didn't really know anything other than what I saw as soon as I got there. But that is easily in my top 10, possibly top 5. That is one of the best rides I've ever been on. And Leviathan, obviously I shout out Leviathan, so great. Definitely up there on the top as well, not top 2 coasters, but definitely up there in the top as well. And then another surprise was Ravine Flyer 2. So happy to get on that. That was such a great ride. Definitely amongst the top wooden coasters I've ever been on, with things like Phoenix and El Toro. Just so good there. Loved Ravine Flyer. And Waldemere was probably one of my favorite parks, if not my favorite park of the trip. I know Canada's Wonderland is great, so many coasters, so many great rides, but I love parks like Waldemere. Waldemere was just so special to me. So I'm so happy I was able to get to Waldemere. But now we're done. We don't really have much going on at the moment. Just work. I did tease in one of my videos something special related to Universal that might be going down at some point this year, in a couple months or so. I also mentioned I wanted to get up to Lake George to go to Six Flags Great Escape to go on Bobcat, and there's a handful of other kiddie roller coasters in that area. There's an Alpine, so it would be a plus, I think 5 or 4 maybe to the overall count. And then, I mean, my next vacation is in December. I don't really know if I'm going to do anything. December is a tough time to ride roller coasters because you have to go someplace where they're open all the time, like a California or a Florida. And I have nothing really new in Florida to ride. I mean, I'm only missing, at least in the Central Florida area, I've done everything at Busch, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld. So I don't know. I might just keep working through December, plan something for the beginning of next year. Think of something international to do as well when it gets nice. Got that passport. I got to use it every year now. Thank you all for joining me on this journey across Canada. First time leaving the country. Can't believe it's already over. It just went by so quick, as trips usually do. So thankful to my car for holding up. I've never taken a really huge road trip with my car because I've always been worried about something happening because my car is kind of old. But she did wonderful. No issues at all. Not even like a low tire light. No issues, whatever. So good. So couldn't have done it without her. She was the MVP of this trip, going up to Montreal, to Owen Sound, Storybook Park, over to Erie in Pennsylvania, the mountains of Pennsylvania, New York, all over the place. So she did so good. So thankful to her. But that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next adventure.